Good evening and welcome to Love Yourself Spiritual Channel. I felt called tonight to just do a collective general reading. Not really sure why. I was just suggested to go and sit, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I felt prompted to use the Crow Tarot deck. In that prompting, I thought I would just do a crow spread, actually inspired by the person who did this deck. I love this deck. So I'm just going to shuffle a couple times, and then I'm going to lay out a spread, and I will go through what I'm laying out as I do. Hopefully the overhead camera won't shut off this time as it did last time. Okay, so Spirit guides, invited to assist us in this reading, help us with understanding, call our angels in to protect us. Thank you. So we're going to start with the center card, which will be the heart card, your inner card, which is happening inside of you right now. And we have the Magician. That's beautiful. Your present energy, Ten of Wands. Your supporting energy is the Six of Wands, also beautiful. In the hopes and fears, we have the Two of Swords. A little bit of blindness. In your grounding energy, we have the Three of Swords. We're going to talk about that a little bit. In the past energy, we have the Seven of Cups, some choices. In the opening energy, or what's opening up for you, we have, possibly move these over, I need to make sure the overhead camera can see them. We have the Seven of Pentacles, so a little bit of growth, something growing, working on something, growing something. And in the future energy, we have the Hermit. So we're going to need to take some time to rest. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. So overall energy, for what you don't see supporting you, is balance. The need for balance. I'm just going to make sure we can see all of the cards. That's better, I think. That's everything. Okay. All right. So I have this Nishikoi deck, inspired by koi fish, that we will use to clarify. So I think the Magician in your heart space is pretty straightforward. I might just ask for a card or two for the Magician, but the Magician energy, of course, is one of manifestation, manifesting your dreams. And this is the Magician's card in the Crow Tarot deck. And I love this card because it has, it has flowers. Obviously, he's growing. There's things already manifesting, but he has the cup for the heart space. He's standing on the sword of truth. He has the wand in a foot, and the pentacle. So he's able to manifest anything into the 3D that he wants, of course. Spirit, what would you tell us about the Magician tonight? What more would you give us on the Magician? Anything else? Two of Cups. So the ability to create a balanced relationship, and that is at the heart of the matter. So that's what's in your heart. Possibly wanting to manifest balance in a love relationship of some kind. And I think for the present energy, the Ten of Wands, I'd like to do actually a 3-card downline for this Ten of Wands. Because I'd like to see mental, emotional, and spiritual energies there's definitely some burden here, some struggle. One more time for this Ten of Wands. Spirit, show us the Ten of Wands. Cycle. The bottom of the deck is the World, so what you possibly don't see is that there's a cycle involved in this. Seven of Swords. A little bit of trickster energy. Ace of Cups, new perspective from the heart, and Ten of Swords. Okay, this is a painful cycle. And we have at the bottom of the deck in this clarifying this card, we have the World card. So there's a cycle here, possibly that's needing to end. Being that this Ten of Wands is the end of a cycle, 10 notes the end, and this is too much burden, carrying too much burden. And wands are passionate energy, and so possibly in this, to clarify the Magician wanting to, build more maybe harmony in this Two of Cups, this Ten of Wands is indicating that there's a burden here that you need to put some of this burden down on for. And then to clarify that in the mental energy is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is trickster energy. And sometimes, being in the mental energy, we can just trick ourselves into feeling responsible to carry the whole burden in a relationship or aspects of the relationship, especially when we're talking about, a cycle. A World card, when we're talking about a cycle, possibly taking on too much of the responsibility in that cycle that is occurring. And swords are about energy. For me, that's always the coyote energy, so kind of the trickster energy, fragmented energy at the very best, so fragmented thoughts. Ace of Cups. Ace is always about new beginnings and new beginnings with the self, because Ace is indicating of one, and Cups is love. So starting this, and this is clarifying the love energy in this downline. And so at Ace of Cups, you're going to need a new perspective from a loving place. And in the spiritual energy, the Ten of Swords. And again, the 10 is the end of the cycle. So it's time for this cycle to end. And these 10 swords are in your back. These, you've been stabbed in the back, left for dead. This is a very uncomfortable energy, but it is the end of it. And I think, the swords are about your thoughts. It's time to end these thoughts. Whatever it is in this cycle of thoughts that is giving you too much burden. Okay, I think let's move on to this. The supporting energies, possibly that you don't see, is the Six of Wands, which is beautiful energy. The Six of Wands is victory. It's about being seen. It's about being heard, being seen. And if you've been carrying a burden in a relationship that you're trying to balance, it is important to be seen. But the future energy that's supporting you or supporting for your future is an energy that, as this cycle ends, as the world cycle ends, there is victory ahead of you. And I think we'll just flip out a card or two for that victory, just to clarify it. What else about this victory energy, Spirit, is there? Where might this victory be coming from? The Three of Swords. Okay. So it's the Three of Swords. That's the most painful card in the deck. The Three of Swords in traditional decks looks more like this, where the heart is in the middle and the swords are going this way, and this way. And I always say that's their thoughts, my thoughts, and reality. As we're indicating, it looks like a relationship here. It doesn't have to be. Take it as it resonates for you. But the Three of Swords, for me, is the most painful card in the deck because you're not far enough into the cycle. It's 3. It's pretty early in the cycle to really understand exactly what to that point is the reality of it. But the 3 is what drives home reality, and 3 is actually, triangle is the strongest shape that there is, and so 3s are very strong foundation setters. So the three of swords being there, that is what's actually propelling the victory, is the pain. And if you'll step out of the cycle, and in that cycle, then the victory is yours. But what's propelling that is the pain. Page of Cups. Okay. So to further clarify, is the Page of Cups. And pages are about more learning. They're about passionately, youthfully, because when you're a youth, you're just excited about life. You're excited about learning. So passionately, from a stance in the heart, do some learning about the cycle, about the situation, about the burden, and understand the pain. Try to see where the reality is in that three of swords, and do some learning. And then pages are also about messages and being the messenger. This is about possibly a love relationship between two people, and about wanting to be the magician and create balance probably in the relationship. Then the page is also responsible for conveying some of that. Okay, let's take a look at the hopes and fears. The hopes and fears is the 2 of Swords. I think I will go ahead and do a 3-card downline for this 2 of Swords. I'll show you this 2 of Swords. A little crow with his 2 swords standing between the swords. There is water in the background. He is blindfolded, and that is really what the 2 of Swords is about. It's about mental confusion, about not really seeing clearly what is going on in the situation. While this one doesn't have a moon in the background, a lot of the traditional decks, there will be a partial moon in the background, which always to me indicates that there's a little bit of the reality that's being obscured. Okay, Spirit, will you show us 3 cards? Mental, emotional, spiritual energy for this 2 of Swords. Let's clarify. These are upside down. Oh, we have the World card at the bottom of the deck again, and you just saw me shuffle this so many times. We have the Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands, Temperance. I love the Temperance card. And again, at the bottom of the deck, clarifying this one, is the World card. So this definitely is a cycle. This is something that needs closed out. I think Spirit's really trying to drive home that this is a cycle that continues to happen, that is painful. That's a lot of painful thoughts here. We've got 7 of Swords, 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords twice, 10 of Swords. There's a lot of painful thoughts tied up in whatever this is, and whatever this situation is that you're trying to, create some balance in, and you can, as indicated by the Victory card, the 6 of Wands. But to clarify this 2 of Wands and the mental energy is the Queen of Cups. So stand in your worth, knowing the worth of your heart, and be receptive. But take a loving stance, knowing that in your mind you're worthy of love, you're worthy to receive love, you're worthy not just to give love, because, and part of the reason I say that is because anytime the 10 of Wands comes out, the heavy burden, a lot, and we're clarifying what looks like a love relationship. The Queen of Cups is the one who receives love. That's the female energy of receiving love. And so I love that she's come out in the mental energy. So understand that you are the Queen of Cups, that you are to stand to receive. You're not just to give. And then we have the Ace of Wands. And aces, again, are about starting with the self. And wands are about passionate energy, and it's about a new beginning in a passionate way. And so start with yourself, start in your heart space, making some changes within you, maybe seeing it from a different perspective, and then begin again in a passionate way. And in the spiritual energy, temperance. And I love the temperance card. The temperance card is about alchemizing the energies first that are within you, finding the truth of the situation, balancing between the head and the heart, balancing between the logic and the pain, between the reality of what's actually happening and how you choose to feel about it. It's actually about alchemizing those energies that are within you, and then taking that very patient, slow, methodical energy and bringing it out with that Ace of Wands into the relationship, and begin to alchemize the energy that is between you. And the Temperance card is not it's not a restful card. It's an actively doing this, but it does denote that there's a passing of time, and it does indicate to me that some individual work has to be done first, before the alchemy actually will take. And temperance is one of the things that's required in order to close out a cycle, for sure. Okay, so next we're going to look at the grounding energy. And this was our hopes and fears energy, this two of, and I think there's probably as much the fear, but clarified in a way that, in my opinion, gives a lot of hope. At least there's a very clear path there to be hopeful about. I think we'll do this deck one more time, and we're going to look at this Three of Swords in the grounding energy. So the energy that is grounding you. And pain can be a very good place to take a stance, for sure. It's definitely going to drive change. While it's not a comfortable place to ground, it can be a very good reason to do it. The Emperor. The Emperor is at the bottom of the deck, clarifying the Three of Swords. And I love the Emperor because he's the ultimate authority. When the Emperor shows up and gives his stamp of approval to something, and puts his foot down, whatever needs to be done is going to get done. He is going to balance things, create security, build whatever needs to be built. He's a culmination of all the 3D kings. And then clarifying it, we have the Knight of Cups, the High Priestess. Oh, that's beautiful. And the Seven of Wands. Okay. Oh, this is really nice. Okay, so they're giving great advice tonight. The Knight of Cups, and Knights are about taking what's within you outside of you, and Cups are about love, of course. And this is in the mental energy. So once you get some of this perspective up here with this Temperance card, then in order to ground the energy and take it outside of you, ground it through mentally the love that you have for the situation. And of course that involves you as an individual, absolutely. But then as you begin to alchemize the situation and the love and the energies that are between you, understanding that you're coming from a loving place is beautiful. And the High Priestess in the heart space. The High Priestess is the most intuitive sign. She actually speaks to our intuition, and while she can be a bit quiet, a lot of times I find that to connect to the High Priestess energy, you have to ask. She is always aware of what would to be best to do in a situation from a very mothering, nurturing, loving, kind, but also spiritually correct place. And so don't be afraid to ask in meditation, or like, what would be, talk to my intuition, speak to me about what would be best to do in this situation, and then wait for the answer. And in the spiritual energy, the Seven of Wands to me is about setting healthy boundaries, about knowing your worth and being able to say, I don't want to be, I don't want to carry up the whole burden. I'm putting up a boundary. I'm not taking more than my share. And that's okay to do. And do so from a loving place. Don't be mean about it. But do stand up for yourself, because it's very important that you do. If you don't, no one will. If you're an overgiver, then you have to put up a boundary even with yourself that says, I'm not going to overgive, I'm not going to overdo, I'm not going to take responsibility. If there's a lot of pain in this situation and a lot of out of balanced energy where you're taking a lot of the burden on, too much of the burden on, then the boundary may need to be with you even more than it is with that person. But set that boundary with yourself, and then go to that person and say, look, this is how I show up, and it's a problem. I take on too much, and these are the things that hurt me when I do that, and so I need you to help me to be different. I'm not going to show up like that anymore, because it doesn't serve our relationship. I think, let's see, I need another deck. We used a good bit of those. What do I want? I think we'll use this Aquarian deck. It's also kind of a water deck. Spirit, what is next? We did the grounding, we have past. Let's do the past energy. Past energy is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is always a little bit of fragmented energy, and while it is the energy of love, it's cups. By fragmented, I just mean that there's a lot of choices. This crow has many, many choices that he could choose from, and they're out of all these cups. And so it can be about someone being distracted by how many choices there are, and possibly you not feeling chosen. It also can indicate there's, as with anytime there's a lot of burden, there's a lot of choices at how to spread the love around, and possibly you don't feel given back to. And it can also mean 3D choices that are painful. I actually want to do a downline for this one. Spirit, will you show us a downline for these choices? What are these choices about? What is this fragmented energy? The Seven of Cups. The Sun. The Sun's at the bottom of the deck. The Sun is upside down at the bottom of the deck. What is going on? No, only... Wow, okay, only this one's upside down. Queen of Cups is upside down in this past energy. So not feeling very loved, not feeling very appreciated possibly. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, so higher learning. Page of Pentacles to me is the ultimate scholar. The Page of Pentacles is, as all pentacles are, are earth energy, and earth signs, they don't do anything that's impractical or doesn't have a good 3D outcome. They just don't waste their time. And so the Page of Pentacles is the ultimate scholar, because when he goes to gather information and he's excited about it, he's doing it so that he can practically use the information that he's gathering. So clarifying the Seven of Cups was the Queen of Cups in reverse, which means whoever this feminine energy is doesn't feel loved, doesn't feel supported, doesn't probably feel seen. And then the Page of Pentacles in the heart space is, I think, just indicating the need to go back into the past, possibly, because this is past energy, and see the truth. Try to get out from under that Two of Swords energy. Try to see the truth of how choices that were made, not just by that person, but you also not having boundaries potentially, not standing up for yourself, not over giving, and then not also receiving. So go back and take a look at some of that, and look at the patterns that are set up in the relationship, so that you can show up differently, and so that you can begin to shift the energies between you. But it's going to have to start again with, everything starts with the self. It has to start with you. It has to start with you tempering the energy first. And then in the spiritual energy, the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is the lawgiver. He holds the spiritual law. And spiritual law has to do with what's right and wrong in a relationship, especially. And so in the spiritual energy, understand that when the Hierophant shows up, and I call him Mr. Grumpy Pants because, I wasn't always the best rule follower in life. When the Hierophant shows up, he is saying, in my opinion, in that downline, that things were out of balance, and you need to look at the fairness of it, the spiritual fairness. Okay, and then let's look at the opening energy, which is card 7. The opening energy is the Seven of Pentacles. So what could be coming? What could be opening up for you to help with this is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is actually a card that I really like, because it's about planting a seed and then nurturing that seed and caring for it and loving it and doing all the practical things that need to be done in order to make sure that that seed germinates, and then caring for the little seedling and watching it grow. And yeah, it is slow energy. It's a very slow process, but you can't get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is foundation and fulfillment in the 3D. It's abundance, without going through the Ten of Pentacles. And even when you're talking about, a possible Two of Cups relationship, a love relationship, or it could be a relationship between family members, mom, dad, children. It can be any relationship, friends, but to plant a seed and then carefully cultivate it and make sure that it has that you water the plant and all of those things. When we're talking about a love relationship and tempering and changing energies, I think it's very important to understand that it will take time to plant the new seed and then watch it grow and see to it that it has what it needs in order to grow. I think we'll just flip out a couple cards for that one, because that's pretty straightforward. Two of Wands. Two of Wands are passionate energy, and twos are about deciding and discerning about what to do going forward. It's about making plans. In traditional decks, there'll be a person holding a globe in one hand and a wand in the other. So their own passions plus all the responsibilities of the world and creating a balance. But coming from a passionate place to do so, and understanding that your passions, your individual passions, are important as well. Not carrying too much. And then we have the Three of Cups and the High Priestess. Okay, so clarifying this planting of the seed and growth we have, again, like I said, the Two of Wands, about making a decision, making plans, looking to the future. And then we have the Three of Cups, which the Three of Cups is about celebrating. It's about celebrating love. It's about focusing on love, focusing on enjoyment. So lighter energy. Maybe start bringing some lighter energy to a part of, and not just to the relationship, but also to yourself, by putting some of this burden down and self-care. And then the last card out on the spiritual energy, we again have the High Priestess, and which I think just means let your intuition guide you. Let your intuition help you to make the plan that includes your something that you're passionate about, as well as your responsibilities. Not putting yourself off, but giving love to yourself, because you can't receive more love in any relationship, no matter what the relationship is, if you aren't willing to, if you're an overgiver especially, and you're not willing to give to yourself. If you won't give to yourself, no one else can really give to you either, because everyone is you pushed out, and they're going to mirror back to you how you really feel. And that's what people are. And especially, like Two of Cups relationships, these close love relationships, they teach us a lot, because they mirror back to us exactly how we feel and think about ourselves. And if we aren't willing to love or give love to ourselves, we aren't going to get it from other people, no matter how much we give. The giving has to come into balance. Okay, and then the future energy, or what's in your future, is the Hermit. So very possibly the Hermit is always a call for me, a call to meditate and reflect. And the Hermit is the one who's walked the path. And as you can see, this little crow has a lantern in his mouth, and that lantern has his star in it. And the star is the thing that you're passionately wanting, and that lantern with the star in it, the star is the thing that you came to be passionate about, or one of the things that you came to be passionate about, and it's supposed to light the path. It's supposed to show you where to go. And that's can be a very difficult spiritual thing to do, is to always keep in mind, what is my star? What is my path? Because your star is going to bring you the most joy. It absolutely is going to bring to you the most fulfillment. So it's actually very important to be the Hermit. And the Hermit is the one who's had all the 3D experiences. He has a lot of wisdom. And let's just clarify this Hermit a little bit. And as the Hermit, having walked the path, reflects back over the course of his life, there is a lot of wisdom to be gained there. And so for me, the Hermit always indicates the need possibly to that's funny to meditate and to rest on the path, and clarifying that as the Four of Swords, which is actually the call to meditate in the tarot deck. Put down the swords being your thought. Put down the thoughts, quiet the mind, and just rest. Self-care, self-love. Anything else? I don't know if we need anything else besides the Four of Swords spirit, but is there anything else? Ten of Swords, let the cycle end. Yeah, let the cycle end. And the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So, again, they just want to, I think, drive home that the Ten of Swords, it's the end of the cycle. It's time to let the thoughts go that are hurting you. Being responsible for too much of the burden. And at the bottom of the deck, at the end here, we have the Fool. And the thing I love about the Fool energy is it's just so trusting, and I think it just surrenders to life. it's in a lot of decks it'll be, you know, just this youthful person just walking off the cliff, knowing that the universe is going to catch him, that he's always going to be supported. Hi, honey. Not right now, okay? Say hi, Winnie. Say hi. Yeah. Thank you, honey. In a minute. Anyway, the Fool is just this very youthful energy that is just so trusting, and I think, you know, when we get out to the Hermit, it can be difficult to remember that there was a time that we were that trusting, that we just trusted that things would work out for us, and you know, being so many painful swords in this reading, but the overall energy of the energy supporting the clarification is the Fool, and I think to be the Fool is really important. And then the last card that I wanted to talk about is the Six of Pentacles, and this is the overall energy for the reading supporting you, maybe the energy you don't see, and that is the Six of Pentacles is about equal give and take. It's about being generous, giving generously, but also expecting to receive back in equal proportions, and setting the boundary with the Seven of Wands, setting that boundary about being given back to as well. And then I picked this Oracle deck, not really knowing what we were doing, and the Unknown Crisis, but we didn't get a tower, surprisingly. We didn't get a tower, but I think we'll see if there's something in here that Spirit would want us to have. Is there an Unknown Crisis card? Stormboat. Perseverance and courage to keep sailing even in the midst of crisis. Stormboat. You're resilient. You've got this. You can do it. Hang in there. Anything else, Spirit? An endless journey. Every step is a new beginning. Enjoy the journey. Be the Fool. Be the Fool. This is Fool energy. Definitely. Okay. Let me do a couple charms. We have the Seahorse. Seahorse is actually a very auspicious little creature. They're very strong, very independent. And then we have the Measuring Tape, be given back to in equal measure. We have the Moon with the little star. This is one of my favorites. Oops. Well, the Moon can obscure things. It's also the seat of our intuition, because you have to feel what you can't see. And you know, the little star, that's your guiding light. Let your intuition guide your star. We have a cow's head, maybe Taurus energy. Some Taurus here. Cows are also fairly docile but stubborn. Taurus is a sign of the hostess, so possibly you're very nurturing. And then we have the Starfish. And we have the Crown. Don't forget your worth. Know your worth. Okay, that's what I have for you tonight. I hope that helps someone, and put in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you feel called to a personal reading or spiritual counseling, my email address will be in the description box. If you would like information on spiritual healing modalities, you can go to our website. That will also be in the description box. And otherwise, have a blessed day.
Namaste.